Has it been very important to you, both in England and America, to stay Aussie?
Yes, it has. I always felt I was an Aussie. And when I first went to England, I don't know, when I was in Australia as a young girl, I was always called a Pommy. And when I went to England, I was called an Australian. So I was a bit confused as to what I was, but I've always felt an Aussie and always, felt my roots were here.
How hard is it for you to retain the accent? Because you've got people around you who are speaking with an American twang.
Yeah, but Pat and John, and we have like an Australian mafia in Los Angeles and we stick together. I don't know, I think I've been not conscious of losing it, but I always felt that was my identity, and I'd feel phony if I was talking like that, I could if I wanted, if I don't like it.
Well, some do it, don't they?
Yeah, a lot of people do, but I don't. I've always disliked it in other people, so...
Did you ever have a producer or somebody, of importance that told you should get a transatlantic accent?
Yes, in fact, when I went to see about Greece for the reading, they first of all thought that maybe I should, get an American accent, and I said, well, I'm very sorry, but there's no way that I could do it and be convincing. So if you want me for the movie, I'm going to have to be an Australian. So they wrote it into the part. Thank goodness for me. But
that's it. And did you have to read for that, or they just wanted you for?
Well, what happened was it was an unusual screen test because I'd met Alan Carr, who was the producer, at a dinner party. And apparently I was clowning around, as is my wont, and making lots of silly faces. That's how he remembered me for it. And I said, I was very nervous of doing the film because I had made a really bad one before that in England that I'm trying to forget.
What was it called again?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, oh yes.
It was really kind of yesterday, but it was called Tomorrow. It was terrible. And so I was very nervous of doing a film, so I had seen John Travolta on television and kind of felt that he was an up-and-coming star. He hadn't had a movie out at that time, so I thought, well, it's a good project, and I'd like myself, and if I don't like myself, I won't do the movie. So I was the one who was nervous in the screening room, not the producers.
What's he like, John Travolta, as a man?
He's a terrific person, really. Nice, kind person. Funny, very funny.
When you got to America, Australia wasn't the flavour of the month, as it appears to be now.
No, it wasn't.
Is it a great help now to be Australian?
It's very in, actually. It's very... Paul Hogan did that fantastic commercial about throw another shrimp on the barbie. Have you seen that out here this afternoon?
We have on the variety shows, yeah.
Right. And now, if you're an Australian, the Americans tell me that when Australians come in and they say something, they'll say, "You're an Australian, I'll put another shrimp on the barbie for you." It's like, it's become the in phrase, and so it's very, very in.
And I'll bet, like everything else, they think they're the first person who said it to you.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Olivia, when you come back to Australia, do you feel a safety in being home? Are there things you can do here that you can't do in America?
Yes, I do. It's a fantastic feeling to walk down a street and go into a shop and not have to have a security guard looking after me. And I do feel safe here, and that's a fantastic feeling. And people are so friendly, and I don't think it's only because of they recognise me. I think it's just the nature of the people.
The one question I want to ask you, and I suppose it's a stupid question. It's like asking you, why are you beautiful? But why is it that you haven't been affected? And I mean, not that people have tried to find you out, but everybody who sees you after an absence of a couple of years says, she hasn't changed. And I mentioned in the intro, you're a superstar. That's proven by your records and by your films and by everything you do. But why is it that you haven't changed? Why haven't you allowed yourself to get a swelled head? Have you worked on it? I mean,
they beat me up all the time back there. No, I don't know. I guess I find it a bit hard to believe everything that's happened to me. And I think once you start... Someone said to me years ago, and I think it's the best way to describe it, once you start believing your handouts, you've had it. Once you start believing what they write about you, then you're in trouble. So I know who I am, and I'm very thrilled about what I've done, but I don't see myself as, star or anything. I'm just a person and I've done very well, and it's very exciting, but I haven't let it kind of take me away.
Ladies and gentlemen, Roy Orbison.
Thank you. Thank you for coming over here and joining us.
Oh, you're welcome.
Really nice to talk to you for a minute. I was curious today when I found out that you just completed doing a movie with Meat Loaf and a few other people. I think called Rudy.
Yeah, it was Rudy, yeah.
Yeah. Was that your first motion picture?
No, I did a Western for MGM in '66.
What'd you play in that?